Yo, welcome back to Hot Topics TV, y'all. Listen, man. Damn. There's a lesson in this video right here for all of us, right? And the lesson is basically get your house in order. Get your house in order because you don't know the minute or the hour. I know it sounds kind of churchy. It sounds kind of preachy. It sounds kind of Christian-y. If you ain't Christian, you're probably not into it. But it's actually factual. Now, according to reports, Takeoff. Y'all know Takeoff. Takeoff from the Migos. Takeoff recently lost his life under shady circumstances in Houston. We don't need to go into all the details of that. What we're here to talk about is his finances. See, I was under the impression that, yeah, Takeoff got a lot of money. But I had no idea it was this much money. Now you got to understand, to go from nothing, from trapping out the bando, to go from nothing to this much money at such a young age, and it was all self-made and God-given talent earned, that alone is worth saluting. That brother, man, losing him, it hurts like I know him. It hurts like he was one of my family members. Because if he accomplished all this at such a young age, you could only imagine what he would have accomplished had he been around longer. Anyways, now according to reports, Takeoff's untimely passing last month in Houston has caused big old fight between his mother's side of the family and his father's side of the family. Guess for what? Over his money. Who gets to control his estate? You know, when they say people fighting over your money because you're dead and gone, you know you got money, but you ain't got too much money. When they use the word estate, you know you left behind a whole lot of money. Okay? Now, according to Vlad TV, Takeoff, whose real name is Kershnik Kari Ball, he died and left behind a net worth of $26 million. And no child, not a chick or a child to inherit his wealth. Damn. You know what? Let that sink in for a minute. This young brother left behind, also in his 20s, passed away, left behind $26 million and no chick or child to inherit his riches. You know, I'll give the Migos credit. I'll give credit to all of them. Offset, Quavo, Takeoff. Because if you look at it, right, a lot of these rappers, especially when they get really famous, man, forget really famous. A lot of them just they just have a whole bunch of babies all over the place, okay? A lot of them got 1 or 2 or 3 baby mamas. A lot of them got about 4, 5, 6, 7 kids and all this. And there's drama in the background with baby mama drama. And the rap money ain't enough to take care of all the kids and all that other stuff. I gotta take my hat off and salute them. Because I've been there since the beginning of Takeoff, Quavo, and Offset, right? This whole Migos thing, this whole ride. One thing I did notice about them, they were big on family. These brothers could have been sowing their wild oats. They've been getting money for quite some time now. They could have been sowing their wild oats. They could have been banging and breeding groupies. They could have had, Takeoff could have had as many children as he wanted to. At this point, he could have pulled the future. But they weren't into that. All the Migos boys that you see, even, don't you notice, Offset with Cardi B, he made sure, right, he got married, he settled down, his babies came, and yes, he have outside of Cardi, but still, that was brought into the fold as well, right? And he's all about his family. The one time I could remember that he made some kind of mistake, probably did a little cheating and Cardi took him back, or got involved with some female. I don't know if it was really cheating, whatever the case was. Y'all remember when she was up there doing that big old concert and he crashed the concert, came out on the stage and begged her for forgiveness in front of the whole damn world, and he never made any more mistakes like that again because he realized that what he has in Cardi B. It's like, where are you going to find another Cardi B? Huh? Where are you going to find another Cardi B? And she is submissive to her husband. which makes their relationship work good. She put Offset in that man position. That's her king, and she treats him like that. So he found a good wife, and he's a wise man to find a good wife and settle down. There's a lot of ninjas out here finding good women, and they just running through them and passing them off. So a lot of these women end up being bitter because they got tricked into something thinking that they were in love and shit. But anyhow, that's for a whole nother video, whole nother story. I'm just saying, this brother died and left no will in place, has no chick or child to take his inheritance, and he could have very well have had a bunch of kids if he had wanted to. If you notice, Quavo ain't got no kids either. Quavo, I hope this is a lesson too to Quavo and Offset that are left, that Takeoff didn't have his affairs in order as far as how he wanted his wealth to be distributed in case he passed. And I know that it's kind of hard to think about you passing when you're this young, but we really have to start understanding that God controls time. We don't. And just like they tell us in church when we're growing up, you don't know the minute or the hour. It's absolutely friggin' true. You know, I seen somebody say on Instagram that one of the biggest blessings is going out in the morning, leaving your house. You jump in your car, you drive about your business. You don't say, thank you, God. You make it back home, and you don't say, thank you, God. And so many people jumped in their cars that day, went out to whatever function they went out to, and just never made it back home, including Takeoff. You know, so I hope it's a lesson not only to them, but to the rest of us. See, I was in the military for quite some time, and I was deployed a lot. And when I got into the military, that's one thing that the U.S. Army does. They make sure that you put that will in place. And I was young, and I was thinking, why the hell am I writing a will? Maybe they know I'm going to go away and get killed. But it wasn't that. It was just in case, right? So it taught you to face that fear. Some people actually really think if I put a will in place, it means I'm going to die sometime soon. But it's bullshit. If you don't put a will in place and you do have assets, they could end up in the hands of people who you really would never want your assets to end up in their hands. Imagine your assets ending up in the hands of somebody that never supported you, always dogged you, an absentee father who never cared about you growing up, never cared to take the time to be around to help to grow you, and then suddenly you pass away and this man is all in your riches. So Takeoff, whose real name again is Kershnik Kari Ball, he died and left behind a net worth of $26 million with no child to inherit his wealth. Hence, without a will, no will to delegate his assets, and Georgia law states, listen to this, Georgia law states that his closest relatives are now in line to obtain his money and assets. Damn. Including his valuable catalog of residual income from record sales. So whoever inherits this, they won't even have to work again for the rest of their lives. That means there's a lot at stake for Takeoff's mom. Takeoff's mom name is Titania Davenport Treat, and his dad is Kenneth M. Ball. Both of them, it's rumored, they don't get along. They do not get along. They're not friends. Takeoff is said to have been raised by his mama without the help of his biological father, Kenneth M. Ball. So I don't know how he's showing up now as if he is entitled to something, and I guess he got wind of it that there is no will, so he's coming to fight for some of that money. You ain't raised that boy, as far as I've been told. As of now, information on Kenneth Ball's involvement in Takeoff's upbringing is scarce. Ain't nobody got nothing to say. Ain't nobody running out saying he was a good dad, he was always there for his son, and all that. What we know is he was not there. What we know is the rearing, the growing up, the raising of the boy was done by his mama. If anything, that's who deserves all of that, man. And whatever siblings he left that came through with the mama, you know. because Takeoff was that type of person. He used to take care of his family. According to what I heard his little brother said, he took care of the family even when they didn't want nothing. He still made sure they had more than they wanted. That's the kind of person that he was. So the topic is being highly contested by both sides, is what we're hearing. And again, highly contested by somebody who was never there. Nonetheless, shortly after his son's murder, Kenneth Ball made the following post on Facebook. He said, Kershnik Kari Tikwan Ball, my first love out of my 5 kids. This is so hard, so hard. Please keep Titania Davenport Treat and me, Kenneth M. Ball, and the entire family on both sides in your prayers during our difficult time. No one knows the pain I'm feeling right now, but with God, I will find peace. And again, we snatched that real quick from Vlad TV. As y'all know, Vlad is like TMZ. They get the scoop because they on the inside, right? And they got a whole lot of connections and stuff. Again, back to what I said before. And you know what? Maybe because I pay attention to my people, but this is some common shit that I've seen black men do. You know, you neglect the child until the child is grown and the child has accomplished so much on its own. I've seen children grow up to become doctors. That whole time that child was in elementary school, junior high school, going off to college, you didn't show up not one basketball game. You didn't show up for not one graduation. You didn't show up for anything. Their mama always said you were absentee. She struggled with the bills because you left her with the children and all this other stuff. And then the day that child becomes some prominent physician, makes it to the front of some magazine where the world knows, or becomes some popular recording artist like Takeoff and the Migos, you coming out the woodworks. Oh, I've always been there for you, and I'm about to fight. Come on, man. We got to do better than this. We have to do better than this, right? But on the other hand, like I said before, that money belongs to his mama. And honestly, I would definitely be doing my best to make sure, if he was an absentee dad, maybe he was quiet, maybe he was in the background and nobody knows about it, because some men do fall back. You know, the women be too much sometimes, so the man falls back and he quietly deals with stuff. But we're waiting to hear more, because I'm pretty sure if he was never there, Takeoff's sister or Takeoff's brother or Takeoff's mama is going to be let it known to the public that this man was never there. But if he was there, then hey, it is what it is. Y'all gonna have to split them assets up. Again, let this be a lesson to the rest of us. Get your affairs in order. You don't want people out here fighting over your stuff that you would never give your stuff to. Especially those of us who have children. Especially those of us who have small children and have any kind of assets. You don't want people running off with your stuff and leaving your children destitute. I'll catch y'all on the next video. It's Hot Topics TV. Y'all already know if the topic is hot, we're on it. I'm out. Peace.